gamers. Welcome back to another Wednesday night stream. It's me, your boy, JTV Live, here with some Planet Coaster. It's been a while since we've done Planet Coaster on the channel. That's mainly been because I just haven't had any ideas. I kind of hit a roadblock and was kind of like, just not inspired for any new park projects. Like, I had a few things I was working on here or there, but nothing I really felt like, oh, this would be good for stream. Like, this is a fun park. I was just kind of screwing around with stuff. But through all my screwing around, and also just through the history of us making parks on this channel, I have amassed a long list of random projects that need to get done and finished at some point in time. And so I thought we would come in. We have enough of them now to where I thought we can come in and just sort of knock those out. We'll start off with something exciting. I got a new roller coaster that I need to build in this new park that I'm working on. So I'll show off the new park that we got going. We'll build that coaster. And then I have a few miscellaneous projects here and there. Like, I want to build an arcade in the boardwalk park and a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I got the game booted up here. This is our beautiful, beautiful park. It is called, what did I call this? What did I name it? Alpenspitze. I don't remember what that means, but that's what I named it. It's on this big mountain map that you can download at the workshop. You can find my the link to my Frontier Workshop down in the description below. You can find the starter map for this. The starter map has snow up here, and it's a lot more empty, obviously. But I've been kind of working on just this sort of rustic, almost national park vibe kind of park here. Off and on, just kind of slowly adding things to it. We got this beautiful fountain here right in the middle. The park music is a little loud. I do need to change that. But we got this beautiful little fountain and waterfall, and you can come up here. And now that they are adding vista points to the game, I finally have like stuff that I can put here. I can put a little vista point here, and people can come and watch this roller coaster that goes along the river here. So I'm very excited about that. I have so many places to add vista points. But coming along here, we kind of just got some food shops, and you can see here, this is the photo booth for this this suspended floorless ride here. And I kind of themed it after the Great Bear at Hershey Park. It's one of my all-time favorite suspended coasters. But I named mine Ursa Major, which is, I'm pretty sure, the same constellation that the Great Bear is named after. So that's a fun little Easter egg. And then also in the spirit, one of the things I really like about the Great Bear at Hershey Park is it's kind of like in and around all of these other rides and other roller coasters. So like that's kind of something I emulated a little bit here with just the roller coasters and all the rides, kind of giving these nice little foot choppers as it comes through this big helix here. We'll go and we'll ride through these roller coasters. There's not a ton, so it shouldn't take us too long. But just coming along here, all the way back over here, you can recognize, actually, this is the same entrance that we use for our Christmas park, just de-Christmasized. It is less Christmas now. But coming through here, we've got, this is a little family coaster that just goes up there. It's one of the ones they added in the newer updates. I love these types of kiddie coasters. I think they're really fun. So I kind of did something that looks intimidating and has some good views, but kind of keeps the thrills to a family level. And then just continuing along the path, some more shops. And then we come to this chair swing coaster right here along the river. And the path kind of winds around here. Got a restaurant here. This is a 2-floor restaurant. The staircase is back here. You can come up here, and there's a balcony right next to the kiddie coaster. So this park has a lot of good views, so I'm very excited to come in and plop all of the vista points down in here. And then there's also this lovely little balcony with these little flame lights that I built forever ago for the boardwalk park. This was back, like, probably over a year ago at this point. I built these little lights. So that's that. And then coming back, we got this bridge going over here, and then up here you have this blue launched coaster. This blue launched coaster that goes kind of along the river here and up over the pathway, and then back tucked away over on these mountains, you've got this really awesome terrain wooden coaster. I love a terrain coaster, and I love a wooden coaster, and I had this big-ass mountain, like, that just kind of ends here on the edge of the map, and so I had to put a coaster here. So we threw a wooden coaster down there, and then right across from it, coming down here, and this is the part of the park where I'm kind of going to start transitioning away from this more, like, rustic, modern, almost like 90s modern aesthetic. And I'm going to transition into more of a, like, cowboy, Rocky Mountains sort of vibe. So you can kind of see this starting to some of that theming as we come along in here. And then back here, completely unthemed, is this boomerang coaster. Just your standard boomerang layout. Something kind of fun over the pathway here, and I just had the space, and I'm like, yeah, they'll fit here. And then the new coaster that we're going to be working on tonight is going to go in this plot here. You can kind of see how I'm going to have the path kind of go, and then this one as well. And so I kind of want a coaster here, and I think I'm going to do a floorless coaster. I haven't done a lot of those, and I think a floorless coaster would go really well right in here. But before we get to the new coaster, we have all of these coasters in this park. Already, this park is really dense, which is kind of what I was going for. I did want sort of like a very dense vibe, like some of the Pennsylvania parks. And so I'm very happy with the density so far. It's just going to be a matter of maintaining that density as we get into sort of this wider area here. So yeah, but coming back over here, we'll start with Ursa Major, since it's themed after one of my favorite coasters. And there's a coaster going up the lift hill right now. So, perfect timing for us. And I'll disappear so you get a good view and just kind of narrate. I love pre-drops on a floorless suspended coaster. Just kind of giving you a nice little 360 view, especially with that big waterfall there. And then a dip down into the forest here. This is like a director commentary. So when we first shot this roller coaster, one of the things that I really wanted to capture was kind of like the rush of the speed that comes with the roller coaster. So we shot this on a wide angle lens. I don't know shit about cameras. That was not my specialty in film school. But big helix. I call it the splashdown helix because it goes through that waterfall a couple times and just dips down towards the river there. And then the second half was all about the inline twists. I love an inline twist on a suspended coaster, so I had to throw in a bunch of those here at the end. Got a nice little wave turn, kind of a unique element on a suspended coaster. And then this nice little effect going through the ride there. And then it ends on a final 2 quick inline twists as we come into the final brake run. So yeah, that is Ursa Major, our suspended coaster. The one kind of major issue with it is because of where it's situated and because of how I built it, this is just like a random dead-end path. So there's not a lot of reason for guests to come over here, and that's partially the reason why we have these 2 flat rides here. Just trying to pool guests over here so that people actually want to ride this thing. But hopefully that gets fixed once we hit the 5-star rating and can kind of just max out capacity. But coming back over here to this kiddie coaster right here, I put in a little effort trying to kind of theme the entrance here. So we'll go ahead and hop on as it's going up the lift hill. And again, this one I wanted to be exciting, but I wanted the excitement more to come from the location rather than the actual layout. So I kind of kept it at sort of a medium thrill level. So that way you still have that family coaster vibe. Like, I didn't want this coaster to have a sort of identity. A lot of my family coasters tend to have an identity crisis where it's like it's a little too thrill for a family coaster. So I wanted to kind of make sure this one was definitively a family coaster. Nice little dip past that restaurant balcony there. I love coasters that interact with the park. All coasters that almost feel like they're dynamic scenery pieces. That's always something I try to... that you'll see pop up in my parks a lot. Oh. Little nice head chopper with the rocks there. And then one last little pass through by the restaurant. And bam. Right back in to the final brake run. A pretty solid ride experience overall. I think I did pretty well with this one. It's definitely not my best family coaster. I'm not sure what would be. But I know there's some other good contenders. Oh, hold on. We don't want that to pollute someone else's park. As we're moving back on through the park, we just got 2 more coasters here. I'm not going to bother with the boomerang coaster because it's such a standard layout that, like, I think everybody will get the idea. But coming over here, we got this blue beauty called River Run. And I will go right ahead and say, big problem with this one is the pacing of the block zones. I kind of fucked up with the pacing of the block zones, so we will be sitting at block break sections for a little bit. I tried my best. I did go in and re-edit the layout to try to mitigate that, but still, there's only so much you can do once the coaster's already placed. And the major thing was just I didn't realize how quickly it would move through this, like, first section, because this coaster is kind of broken into 3 thirds, and this first third, the pacing on it is solid, but it moves very fast. You'll see what I mean. Launch right out of the station, and then this whole thing was all about just S-bends, back and forths, switchbacks, that whole thing. Kind of sort of emulating like a chaotic river flow almost. And then a little nod to Velocicoaster there with the really close to the water 0G roll. Or I guess barrel roll. And this is the longest block section. I'm just going to fast forward through this. And we're going to pretend like we just rolled right through that. So a little dive down here. And this is launch 2 of 3. I don't really count the boosters as launches. I do in the marketing, but I won't to you guys. It's kind of like, that was almost like a stall Immelman maneuver. And then into a nice little loop here. And I'll say the waterfall by the entrance has a great view of that loop. And then a nice big swooping turn here. With a nice little speed hill. Or not a speed hill, like a... It's just a hill. And a nice swooping switchback right, again, next to that waterfall vista by the front of the park. Then up into the second mid-course break one. And then this is the world's jankiest JoJo roll. But it works. You know, we love some jank here. But this coaster type didn't come with a stock JoJo roll, so I had to get creative. And then this is a speed hill right there. And a nice dip under the bridge and a launch up into the big top hat here. Again, right along the river. A little bit of a beyond vertical drop there. I went 98 degrees. Nice outer bank. I love an outer bank. Those things are wild. And then always, if you've been a fan of this channel for a while, you know every coaster's got to have a 0G stall. We got to put the 0G stall in there somewhere. Nice 0G roll. Almost a horseshoe roll. Not quite there, but horseshoe roll-esque. And then just a big helix. Then this big helix was literally just to kill off momentum because I kind of made that launch a little too fast. But there we go. That, ladies and gentlemen, is River Run. A very fun coaster. Like I said, the length of the block zones I kind of screwed up. But the layout and where it's placed and just all of the coaster trains running at once, I think more than make up for it, in my opinion. But moving down the path and then across the river, we've got, I don't even remember what I named it. What did I name it? Wooden 2, we gotta name it. I'm gonna call it, we'll call it, the mountain. Yeah, just the mountain. Yeah, just the mountain. Yeah, that's a great name. Just the mountain. Like in Game of Thrones. Dude, it's foreboding. It tells you what it is. That is an amazing title. I was kind of unsure because I'm like, that's a bit on the nose, just calling it the mountain. But no, that totally fits this coaster. This coaster is the mountain. And we'll just kind of wait here. It's all the way in the back of the park, and we only have 1,000 guests, so this might take a minute or two. But I'll kind of just speed run through this. There we go. So got a little bit of a pre-lift here. Kind of just an outer bank turn into a little helix here. I just wanted to make use of the fact that I had a little divot there that kind of came with this biome type. I don't know what the world's longest lift hill is, but I think that this coaster might have the contender for the longest lift hill. Which is funny because I think the max drop is only a little over 100 feet, which only makes this a mega coaster. It's not even a hyper. But this lift hill, I'm pretty sure, is 300 feet. It's like 250 feet in that area, which I think might be the longest lift hill on a wooden roller coaster. So I might be able to claim that record, which would be pretty fun. And then originally this had great sweeping views of the park. But I think I might delete some of those trees to bring that view back. But this first half of the coaster is more of a twister wooden roller coaster. So you got these big helixes, kind of like what you would see on coasters like Grizzly or not Grizzly, Wildcat or, yeah, that's all I got. So just big helixes. And also the Beast at Kings Island. A lot of inspiration from that. With almost like these Rose Bowl style helixes. So then we got this mid-course brake run. And then the mid-course brake run is before the largest drop on the coaster, which I think is kind of fun. So again, just a nice little S-bend. Where you got this big canyon drop, which isn't the biggest drop on the coaster yet. Nice little roundabout. And then the second half was more about the air time. You got the classic big hills and stuff like that. There's the camera, cleverly hidden in those rocks. I think that might be one of my best camera placements, actually. Actually, no, River Run has my best camera placement, I think. Yeah, some nice airtime hills. And then right into the final brake run. I'm pretty happy with how this thing came out. I really like how it is, but I already noticed our first random project is definitely going to be deleting these trees. These big ones. We can leave these smaller ones. But I do want to kind of, if we're able to, I would like to preserve the views that we have up here. There we go. How does this look? Where's the actual coaster? Okay. That's better views. We would need to get rid of this whole line, essentially, in order to maintain sight lines. Let's see, kind of. Yeah. Oh, that's probably why I got rid of the... That's probably why I put the trees there in the first place, because that is, like, so far away. That is so wildly far away to actually be able to see anything over there. So maybe I'll go back and put those trees. But for now, I think that looks fine. And it still maintains the illusion of a forested mountain. So enough of going over stuff that's already built. I promise you guys a new coaster. Let's get this new coaster going. Also, I need to build an arcade at some... I still haven't even touched arcades. Oh, that's the other one of our random projects. But let's get chain lift, create custom. Give me... I think B&M floorless is what's going to fit here best. Right here. And I'm gonna have it go this way. Yeah, I think right about... Okay, I want this to maintain lot integrity. So I think like right here. Yeah. Optional catwalk, keep that on. Go right here. Do it by 16 feet. Perfect. I think 40-degree angle feels about right. That's what my gut's telling me. And I think 11 miles an hour. No reason in let's make that a little bit shallower. Well, no, these coasters tend to have decently steep lift hills. So we're starting at 85 feet. So if I want this to be 150, we need it to be 230 feet tall. I want it to be under 150 feet, so 220. I feel good about that. I'm 6'4", 220, and there's two of me. Name that movie. Alright, let's see. You know what? Speaking of that movie, I'm so mad that they didn't just keep Jesse Eisenberg. Like, that's so ridiculous. Like, I love, what's his name? I forget the name of the guy who's playing him in part 2. But the movie was The Social Network, so you missed your chance if you were trying to guess. But I'm so mad they didn't just keep Jesse Eisenberg in the second Social Network movie. Like, he totally could have... It totally fit. But, oh well, I'm not a casting director, so what can I say? But I'm still gonna see it. Like, it's not turning me off from seeing it, obviously. Social Network's one of my all-time favorites. But I will be bummed not to see Jesse Eisenberg. Like, Jesse Eisenberg is just so good at playing that character who, like, you really want to punch, but also, like, a small part of you wants to feel bad for. And I think that's important because Mark Zuckerberg is such a soulless lizard person that having an actor be able to, like, add some sympathy to... Add sympathy, but while also still playing a soulless lizard person is, like, very important. Alright, let's test this out. I think the G's are going to be way too harsh on that pullout, but let's see. Yeah, 4 G's is a bit much for this coaster type. So let's go... We'll just start it here. One less, and this should be good enough. There we go. And then a big loop. Always got to start with the big vertical loop. It's the classic. We're coming right up on the station. I'm kind of hoping I can make this a little bit shorter. So let me see. So I would like to do a loop into a Cobra roll. But I'm kind of pushing up against the station a bit here. I might be able to make that a wee bit shorter. But at this point, I think I might just be running into the same problem I was before. Okay, that's not pushing up against the station too much for my liking. That might be a little... This section might be a little rough in the G-force department, so let's see. Okay, 3 Gs, 3 Gs. Okay, yeah. I don't like spiking above 4 Gs. That's just a little much. Okay, is this... Yeah, and that's just pushing way... That's pushing up against the station too much. Alright. One way I can solve this... Hold on. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Start unraveling the turn here. And then... I mean, now we'll be pushing up against the path. But this is at least a more manageable shape. This kind of gives us more space to play with in the coaster lot. Or like the... Not lot. The plot of land that this coaster actually occupies. Which I think is the same thing. I don't know why I reworded that. That was a completely unnecessary rewording. I think it might be re-something. How did that go? Damn it! I wasn't fast enough. I'm not fast enough. I'm like Barry Allen, dude. Like Barry Allen in seasons 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 of The Flash. Because they really had one character arc for Barry Allen, and that's it. That was it. Those showrunners were like, Barry Allen has his character flaw, and we are not deviating. Which, like, you know, respect. Okay. We can actually make this a little bit steeper. Then 43. I can always dig a little trench. Nothing's wrong with some trenches, you know? Although I'm sure there's a lot of people in the continent of Europe who would disagree with me and would tell me that actually there's a lot. There is in fact a lot of there is a lot of things wrong with trenches. Okay, I can make this shallower. No trench. Europeans be pleased. Let's see. Because I know you're all watching my stream. All of the Europeans. Because all of the Europeans are here in America for the World Cup. We're all in the same time zone, finally. My German audience can watch me on... without waiting till 3 in the morning. Normal daytime Germans can finally watch my content. Also, I'm not just picking on Germany randomly, to be clear. That is... Germany is the only country other than America and Europe that I have gotten personal confirmation that I have people watching there. Let's see. So I'm like David Hasselhoff, you know? Not super well known here, but huge in Germany. Okay, I think instead of a loop, I'm going to have to do an Immelman here. Or not an Immelman, like a dive loop. Not a dive loop, Sidewinder. I need to brush up on my element terminology. I think like right here, because I kind of want it to be going this way along the path. And that'll be a much better angle for that loop. And if I play it right... Yeah, we'll just go for it. We'll see how this plays out. I think I'm right here. What are my G's? I gotta watch the G's. Okay. It could probably be going through this a little bit faster. There we go. That's close enough for me. That's close enough to being the correct angle. So I want to be going... let's see. I want to be going this way. So... Actually, I don't, though. You know what I mean? I kind of don't. What I kind of want to do... I'm changing my mind again. And see, this is why I've been working on all of these park projects off stream, because it's like I don't actually have a plan. I'm just kind of putting things down and going ooh or like that's it. That's all I got. Ooh or My reaction is either a soft vowel or it's umlauted. If you hear me umlauting, it's that's bad. Things aren't going well if I'm umlauting. If I'm umlauting. Alright. I need to go use the restroom. I'm gonna go do that real quick, gamers. Don't go anywhere. On that great umlaut bit. I'll leave you there to simmer and think, and I'll let you guys have a chance to Google what an umlaut is, those of you who need to do that. So don't go anywhere. We got more Planet Coaster coming right after the break. Alright, gamers. Sorry about that. I've been chugging water, which you should be doing. Not to a dangerous level, but you should be drinking water. So let's get back to this. I'm thinking there. So we got a 191 loop. It's probably 180 Immelman. And I'll have to check that transfer G's. Yeah, and then this will just cut. I can just change the curve on this path so it kind of hugs this mountain wall. And you can kind of see eventually I'm going to do something up here. I think I might do this Viking themed going up the mountain. Especially seeing it in the snow. 3.6 Gs. A brief flash of that I'm not too worried about. Okay. Those are all good Gs. This is good Gs. We could GG's. Okay. Go here. And now we can kind of also just hug the path a bit more. And this will be an excellent spot for a Zero G loop. Not a zero G loop. A zero G roll. Good gosh. I cannot use correct vocabulary tonight, can I? Oh, I need to be going way more to the right. Yeah, perfect. Perfect angle. Perfect angle and also really good spacing. So just like that. Yeah, and then 2. I'm always paranoid that my track is still curving when I come out of those elements. Actually, yeah. Yeah, having it go through a trench here will make it look a lot faster to the guests walking by, because it's gonna be like eye level with them. So I'll be good for getting people want to ride it. It'll also give me another vista point to place. So coming out of this loop, let's do a 0G roll. So like, oh, that's not gonna work. Yeah, just like this. And I want it to be coming this way, because we'll likely have to do a... No, I had it right the first time. Dang it. I'm not thinking correctly. I need to trust my instinct. Then... There we go. No, you need to be going down. I think I'm gonna have... It's gonna have way too much speed going through it, so I might have to go back in and redo the length of all these pieces. Do this in 20s. But I'm thinking... Yeah, that looks fine. Once we smoothen it out, I think that will work. And here's when you go 20, 23. Perfect. Perfect. So now what I wanted to do... I'm trying to like envision what I'm trying to envision what the element's gonna look like, and then where it's gonna end up going after that. I think the most important thing is decide what direction I want to be going. Okay, that was all pretty good G's through there. So I think I want to be going... Actually, before I get too far into this, let me go through this and smoothen out all of these little bits here. Little bits. And see if I can... And that way I can get a more accurate read of what the G-forces are going through this. Because if there's anything I need to rebuild, I would like to know about it now. Goodbye, snow. It was fun while it lasted. Kind of. All the way down. Nope, by 3. And then by 2. Yes. Go up. That looks about right. That feels natural to this type of coaster, I feel. I'm gonna come up here, and now we just gotta do the same thing. Oh, this one, instead of doing that 4x4, I'm just gonna do 3, 3, 3, and then come back with the 2. Which is so much nicer than how it was in the first game. Because in the first game, when I wanted to smooth out these custom elements, I would essentially have to do a 3-length pass forward and backward, and then also like at least two 2-length passes forward and backward. So it took like 3 or 4 times as long to do this stuff. And it also you didn't even get as good of a result as you do. I think that's really what like one of the main things with this game, that even with like the rocky start kind of kept me going through it. It's like, oh my gosh, the smoothing is so nice and my coasters look so good. Because I know a few people who switched back weren't super happy with the launch of this game. Which I get. Luckily, I didn't have really any issues with it, technically wise. And it had everything I asked for, so I could only complain so much. But I get why other people didn't like it. But the smoothing and then just how the coasters look and how they feel in this game are one of the main things where I'm like, nah, I'm never... I'm probably never going back to the first game off stream unless I like want to see my old parks. All right, let's get a feel of how this is riding so far. All right, the first drop. These can be kind of finicky. Okay, that flowed pretty well. I felt good about that. Okay, good loop. Good sidewinder. That felt like a natural speed going through that 0G roll. Okay. I'm happy with pretty much all of those all of that. I think we need one more element before the mid-course. Oh, I know exactly what to do here. Who doesn't love a little wave turn? And this will get us in the perfect angle for... You know what we're going to put here, gamers? Right here. We're going to put... Hold on, let's make it straight. We're going to put one of these bad boys. A classic Cobra roll. I think we should still have enough speed for it. I think right there. We'll see how that looks. And then the mid-course. I think for the mid-course, we're going to come up here. Just like this. And then here. Boom. And this will be the mid-course. We can make it through this faster. I don't want it to crawl through the elements. I want it to have good pacing. So, coming up like this. Go 45. 1, 2, 3. Down, down. Down, down, down. 4. Boom. Right here. Right there. Okay. Let's see what the G's are. Pretty good. -1 G in the lateral makes me a bit iffy, but okay, cool. So this all works, but this can, in fact, be taller. So we're just going to put it right here. And then make this a lot shorter. Yeah, like right there. Make it 20 miles an hour. And then an immediate drop. Or kind of like this. And going this way? Yeah. Yeah. I can kind of... I'm starting to kind of visualize what I want this to do. 16. Okay, perfect. 2 G's all the way through. So we've got 151, 75. So about 75 feet. Which is pretty decent. Now my first question is... Okay, so let's build where we need to end it. That way we can kind of keep in our mind. Do the thing of where, like, you solve the maze from the end and the start at the same time. And we'll just go optional catwalk right here. And this does need to go a little bit up. Because it's going to need to cross over this path section here, probably. Yeah, that's a good height. There we go. Cool. Because I don't know how much speed we're gonna have coming into that. So having it like that, I think I could fit a vertical loop here. That's a wide vertical loop. It doesn't need to be that. Okay, maybe I can't fit a vertical loop here. We cannot fit a vertical loop here. But what we can fit here... Maybe? No, that's bad. But what I can do is... a little speed hill magic. Who doesn't love a nice little... curvy hill like this to get it realigned. And now we can do still can't do a corkscrew. Now there's something else in our way. But can I do a vertical loop now? Maybe. Oh, what if I did the vertical loop from here? I'm not gonna have enough speed. Okay, 0 G's all around. Okay, actually, I have too much speed. I have the opposite problem than what I thought I would have. So we actually need to make this a little bit bigger. 155. Because this is a rolling drop. Okay, well, now that's too big. 155 is higher than 151. Okay, what happened? What? Okay, 148. I think that should be good. 7 feet taller than it was. Okay, but now this is a problem. Okay, vertical loop doesn't fit here. What if we just did a half step up? What if we just did instead of a bunny hill? What if I just did a step up to the streets and then... Now what? Now... Nah, still doesn't work. But now, corkscrew? Now can I corkscrew? Okay. Damn it. Now we're like... okay. Right here. Pause it, because I know that that train's coming down. There we go. There we go. That's it. That's the ticket. Assuming that all of the clearances work, that's the ticket. Okay, make sure that the lateral G's are good. Okay, this needs to be bigger, which is good, actually. Because that makes the clearance definitely work. Yeah, that's definitely going to work. Okay. So I've got that. Now, we need to get it back coming over here. So the natural course of action right after this corkscrew is, of course, to just continue the rolling motion. And kind of come up here. And then here. And then here. And then here. Yeah. 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 Go down a little bit. What are the G's? Okay, those are all numbers I like. All of those are numbers I like. And it still has pretty decent speed coming through here. Which is good. Coming up. There we go. Perfect. And we can kind of smoothen that out, make it a little better. Now... Okay, so now we got kind of a new conundrum of how do we get it back over here? I've done all of this twisting and turning, and now I've kind of twisted and turned myself into a knot, and I don't know if I can untie it. Let's see. I don't know what keeps happening to my shit. It keeps disappearing. Anyway, coming back to here, what do I want? I could do a cutback. A cutback always just felt sort of lazy to me, but it is a legitimate element. The problem is we don't have enough room for a cutback. It would have to be a big cutback. I don't think we have enough room for an overbanked either. Smaller. Yeah. We don't have enough speed for an overbanked. Yeah. If it was just a tiny bit taller. Yeah, all of the turnaround pieces are, like, pretty large. But, oh, hold on. This is an easy fix. Just make it go this way. Duh. And now... How big is that? 129, maybe? I'm not sure about this bit, but maybe... Is the height gonna work? Hold on, we might be onto something. We might have figured it out. I'm not confident. Okay. Having it kind of hang you there for a second does justify the cutback a bit for me. Hold on. Actually, I can solve this clearance problem very, very easy. You know how? Watch. 1, 2, 3. Boom. That's going to solve my clearance issue. We can even make it a little bit smaller. Alright, I do want to double check, though. Because the last thing I want is to finish the coaster and be like, we did it! And then go back and everybody dies because they're slamming their face into a solid roller coaster track. This is the last thing I want to happen. Alright, here it comes. It's going up that Cobra roll. I think we have... Oh, yeah, we have plenty of room. Okay. Cool beans. And then now, we just get another corkscrew to the left to continue that motion. Can I see? That's interesting. Yeah. And then... so if I have a curve, let's bank that way. Okay. I see it. I see the path. My victory is uncertain, but my destiny is clear. Go this way. What I just said was nonsense, by the way. I was like, in my head, I was like, this might be vague enough to kind of pass as not being nonsense, but saying out loud, I was like, damn, that literally meant nothing. Yeah, just like this. And then... Okay, this is a little dicey as far as G-forces go. This also might be a little dicey as far as the length of this second half goes. I don't even think I definitely can't fit a corkscrew here. There's like no way. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way. If I go out more this way, though... Hold on, it does need to go up a little bit just to kind of like slow it down enough for this really sharp bit here. This needs to be really tight. The G-forces on this final helix are going to be crazy. Yeah, there's just no way. We would have to get it to land here. Which... Yeah, I think we'll just have to give up on that second corkscrew. But this is interesting enough. Maybe. when this all plays out. Hold on. Like right here, probably. Nah, that's not gonna work either. Okay. Getting back here is such a conundrum. This is turning out to be such an issue. It's like I don't. It's like I simultaneously like I have such an awkward. This is such an awkward bit of space that I have. This has turned into quite the puzzler. I'm kind of just staring at it. I think getting the track through here. This is kind of like a crazy route that I'm taking. Okay, I don't have enough room for a... I don't have enough room for a corkscrew, but I have enough room for a 0G roll. If I go... So right now I'm like this. If I go like this. So hold on. I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Just like this. Come down. Oops. Did everything wrong there. Boom. 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 Okay. That's kind of an insane return to the station. I'm not confident in that at all. Let's see how it plays out. I don't think we have enough speed. Yeah. Not having enough speed is actually a good thing, though. Because I need this to be a lot shorter. Yeah. This might turn out really janky, but I'm kind of just trusting the process here. Oh, I messed it up. Let's just do it normal. Because I need the length. I need the length more than I need the snappiness of this type of element. Like right here. There we go. I think that should work. That should work. So now that the layout is done, before we write it, we just got to go through it and smoothen out all of the elements that we haven't gotten a chance to do that with yet. And then we'll go in. I don't think I'm going to bother adding scenery. That's almost like a whole nother project in and of itself. So we'll just do it like this for now. No. Just like this. Perfect. And then really quick, I need to blow my nose. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Health comes first, gamers. Health comes first. And also, nobody wants to watch a stream if I have, like, mucus all over my face. So, gotta take care of that. Let's see. I think just like this. And then come around here. Got this bit. Oops. Kind of the opposite of what I wanted to do. Yeah. That's all fine. That's all fine. This is most definitely going to need a little bit of help. Nope. I hate that the smooth and the delete button are so close to each other. I do that constantly. Because I'm trying to be quick about this. Because I don't like doing the repetitive clicking smoothing thing. And I would be shocked if anybody enjoyed watching the repetitive click smoothing thing. But it is a necessary step of the process. And you can't ignore the technique. Unlike Squidward, I don't have genes. We just have the technique. So we gotta make do with what we can. Just like that. Perfect. Go up here. Then actually, hold on. I need to not do it in so many big chunks like that. Because it does kind of need to bottom out there a little bit. In order to have, like, the correct G-forced distribution. 1, 2. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and then now here, we're going to go 3. Really pull that over. Then all the way up and around. And this is the last element we need to smooth. And then it's all about color. I don't know what color I'm going to make this one. But part of me's feeling the orange, but not the purple. So I don't know what other color I'm going to make go with this orange, but I do like the orange. Hey, it's snowing again. Let's go. Okay, then we just do twosies all the way. All the way up. Go down here. At the very least, I hope that someone out there at some point has clicked onto my stream, saw the probably collectively 8 hours I've spent smoothing my roller coasters on stream. Hopefully somebody's clicked into that and been like, oh shit, I didn't think to do that. That's all I can hope for. Like some kid playing this game when I was at the age I was playing Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 doesn't quite get all the nuances of how everything works. Hopefully I can help them out. All right. Now the last thing is we just gotta dig this itty bitty trench here. It's an itty bitty trench. It's too big, too big. The trench was too big. Itty bitty trench. Perfect. Now we can ride this baby. And riding it with the snow is actually pretty cool. I want this to be like a nice, really reddish orange. There we go. This, I want to be like a nice... Swap these. Swap these. Yes. Then make this also the yellow. Make this more red and less saturated. Okay, so that's a bit insulting. Maybe... Okay, hold on. Let's mess with this orange a little bit. Maybe like there. I'm not really liking that. Okay, that I'm feeling. That I'm feeling. And then now these supports. What do I want these supports to be? Go back to the... Not brown. Oddly enough, that kind of works. But no. Go into the yellows and give me... that. And then this... to saturate it a bit for me, will ya? Right there. Okay, I think... I'm not crazy about that color, but it's good enough for now. That's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and switch it to block section. Add... we want 3 trains. And let's give it a go. Let's take it for a little spin. A little... That curved drop, I think, came out really well. It feels very authentic to this type of coaster. Oh, gotta do more trench work. That's why we ride these. We notice little things like that. That felt a little weird. But I'll keep it for now. Decent hang time on that cutback. Nice. I don't think that came out too terrible, all things considered. I don't know what things we need to consider. I guess the fact that I just kind of went in it with my, like, just completely blind, like a chicken with my head cut off. I think that went pretty well. Only... Okay. Damn it, I did that wrong. Yeah, okay. Go into here. I'm gonna grab this nice wood path, reset it to the normal, and then desaturate it. Go right here, and then right here. Boom. Perfect exit. Now we go into the queue. I'm going to use the same wood, same color, all of that. And we'll do kind of this little move. Come right around here. Boom. So I'm probably going to build some kind of, like, wooden deck structure there. So we'll have this come a little bit further out, like right there. Perfect. And we can have it kind of snake through these supports here. Kind of along through that. Go here. Go here and here. Boom. And open. And then set the price to 0. That way people can't help but come. And then we do my favorite thing. We go all the way to the front of the park. And we just watch the stream of people come through all of the buses at once. Because we just opened a new roller coaster. I think that's pretty fun. Look at all these people happy and excited to be coming in. But now that that is done, that was really the major project I had in mind for this park. So I guess the next little project, let me go ahead and save all of this. And then let me load up the boardwalk park. Because this is something I've been wanting to do with the boardwalk park for a while. I want to try to see if there's not a place we can't put an arcade here. And I feel like there was another thing that I wanted to do with this park. Oh, I might have already done this, but I kind of wanted to go in and add some more restaurants as well. Because we built this park before restaurants were part of the game. Like the modular restaurants. So, okay, so this is our boardwalk here. Now, the most obvious place for an arcade is along here. This is going to be the most one. What's up, elevator warden? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping our elevators safe. Hope you're doing well this Wednesday night. I think right in here. And maybe I can even find a way to incorporate the coaster into the arcade. Yeah, but I think that's going to be the general gist of it. So let's start. What do I want? What do we want the floor to be? I guess we'll just do the standard blue swirly path. Just as like a starting point. So right there. And then let's grid this baby. we go. Oh, I need to turn on... Or do I already have it on? No, I already have supports on paths. Unless this is a... Okay, yeah, no, that's not a custom support. Okay. I guess that just breaks it. So maybe what I should do... I know what I'm gonna do. Sorry, I just visualized a bit of how I want this to look. Okay, so I've got that come. I can also just fill this out as well. I have two sort of branches here. Because this is all dead space, so... And I can always edit the layout of this bridge here to kind of get rid of that. But this is our basic... I might have made that too big. This is the basic arcade floor. Now let me look up... Because I don't really know what theme park arcades look like from, like, an exterior standpoint. I'm trying to get, like, a general shape. Like, a shape down. This actually might work for good inspiration. Open image in new tab. Let me see. Okay, I could do something like this. Okay. Alright, I have my idea. Let's just fill out these gaps. Okay. So now we're going to come into scenery. And I'm going to put on filters. Scenery, scenery theme. We're going to do tropical. Tropical and resort. That's brand. Scenery theme. Resort. Alright guys, it is just resort. And we'll do the regular Planet Coaster theme. I think this should give us kind of the pieces I want. So I'm thinking about kind of modeling it. Hold on, do I have any of them in this build? I have like these little like carnival stands that I built. Yeah. I think I kind of want to model it off of like this sort of vibe. Something very similar to how that's all set up. But obviously kind of use different colors for it. I hate this entry area, by the way. I've never liked the way this looks. Actually, hold on, I just had like a brain blast. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna make this a gift shop with the coaster coming through. This, I've been wanting to get rid of this ugly fucking building for so long that literally nobody uses anyway. This is going to be our arcade. This right here. This is our arcade. It is the perfect plot of land. This is the arcade. Let's just tank all of this. And then grid me. Come on. Thank you. Actually, I'm making this way harder than it needs to be. Hold on. Merge on. Yeah, just take over the space. This is the good art. This is the arcade spot. Now we just need to kind of move this sort of back, which actually works out very, very well. Because now I can just get rid of this little issue. Perfect. Now we're going to come here. You should do a modern arcade. I would do a modern arcade, but I kind of need it to sort of mesh. I mean, I built these buildings like a month after the game came out. So, like, these are not at all my best buildings. But I needed to kind of fit the sort of beachy vibe, or the beachy motif that I have going on throughout, like, this whole little open area here. So it is going to be modern, more modern interior. But the exterior, I'm thinking something more like carnival coded. So this is the main space. For the walls, the divided plaster might be good. Well, but let's look at our options. Yeah, modern beach arcade. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I have pulled up here on my second monitor. Cause like I'm just pulling up photos of just arcades. Cause it's been so long since I've seen one that I kind of forget like the sort of shape and feel of them on the outside. Oh, okay. Something like this. Okay, I'm seeing the shape. I am seeing the shape take form. We're gonna use this. We're gonna need to line it up. Works for me. That's good enough. I'm gonna be deleting a lot of these, but this is just getting me the general shape. I'm also gonna be changing the color. Okay, so now... Okay, I know what I can do with this. Actually, we'll just have to delete it. Delete. Delete, 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 delete. Or like a Cyberman. Delete. Delete. Okay, go here. I'm thinking this. All the way around. Oops. Nope. Perfect. And then where's the middle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2. This is the middle line. So now put this at 6. Nope. Actually, no, yeah, keep it at 13. I changed my mind. Oh, the grid is all like... Hold on. The grid is weird. The grid got jacked. Where did I misplace something? Why is the grid like messed up? Okay, there we go. That was so weird. This is what I wanted you to do. Yeah. And then these guys all the way down. Boom. Okay. The problem is it's not off center, but it looks off center because of this. Can I bring this forward at all? Why is there just a random corrugated aquatic piece there? Okay, also this was supposed to have letters. What happened? Did something not get updated? Is this an old version? Oh my gosh. Did I make a big oopsie? What park did I pick? Hold on, I might have made a big oopsie. Did I click on the older version of the park? Oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my gosh. I didn't even notice. Hold on, this is the wrong version. Oh no. Oh no. All that work and I loaded up the wrong version. I loaded up an old version. And it's not like I did a ton. It was mostly trial and error, and it's not like I did anything super complicated yet. But oh, where is it? This is the right version. This is the most recent version. The one that's on the workshop, obviously. So when my computer crashed, I lost a lot of updates I made to parks. So, and Playland Boardwalk, which is now Bayside Boardwalk. That's the canon title. Bayside Boardwalk was one of the parks where a bunch of updates I made just got yeeted. See, this is what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, we got all this in the background for the western section. But coming here, we'll just do the same thing. Come back in here, delete. Alright, we gotta speed run this. Blue circles, merge on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Good enough. Okay. Pull it back. Pull it back. Damn it. Go here. Pull it back to there. Come over here. Grab these guys. And move it back. And move it in. There we go. Okay. That's better. Yeah, like I said, there's supposed to be all of this. Okay. Now we can build this. Dude, I hate that it resets all of my filters. I mean, it makes sense, but come on. Scenery, theme. Resort, and Planet Coaster. All the way down. Line it up. There we go. And of course, it's not lined up. We had it like perfectly lined up the first time, but it's okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There we go. Okay. Get rid of it all. Okay. I'm like speed running this now. And actually, I wanted to have a bit of an overhang. Almost like a bevel to the edge. At least on the front here. And this just adds dimensionality to the shape. There we go, just like that. And what's great about this is we can just move it down, I think, right there. So now And we'll keep this flush with the building. Actually, no. Let's go here. Boom. Boom. And then... boom. That's kind of arcadey shaped. It's a bit Western, but... I think I'll fix that if I do this. Put these all around it. Make it a little bit taller. Just like that. Yeah. I think that works. Just as like a shape. So now we need to get the doors going. So let's get rid of this whole front bit. Yeah, big wide open doors. And then move these so they're centered. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just like that. That's exactly how I want it. Thank you. Yeah, it's coming together. It's gonna need a lot of small detailing and stuff, but just from like a basic shape-wise, like I look at it and I kind of go, oh, I feel like I kind of know what that is. I think this bit needs to be taller is the only thing. Or maybe this needs to be shorter. Maybe this was better how it was. Let's see. Well, at that point, I might as well just do this. Like... maybe... like there. There. And then I want to try one more thing. I think if I do... oh no, because it's sticking out. Dang it. Well, I guess if I do, if I go back up to these non-grid pieces. Align to surface. Okay, ready? This is really clever what I'm doing, right? So I want it to be centered. So I'm going to scale it so it's the same width. That way I can center the piece. So if it's right there. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. So now, if I shrink it from here, in theory, that should be perfectly centered to the rest of the build. It'll just serve a nice little cap. And then just do it the same to this side. Okay. Perfect. And I think I'm gonna leave this space all hollow for the most part. Yeah. And then I can alter this. Where are these little half pieces? Here we go. Oh my gosh, mouse is being so weird. Oh, why won't it? What is happening right now? Why won't it let me place it where I need to? This is being... What is going on? This is so weird. It feels like my space... Does my screen have like a dead space? Okay. Perfect. Are you guys not seeing... Are you guys seeing this? Look at how my mouse is moving. And look at where it's going. What is happening right now? Let me place it where I need to, please. Thank you, Elevator. I'm gonna call you Warden, if that's fine. Thank you, Warden. It would look a lot nicer if it would let me place these blocks where I actually need to be placing these blocks. Actually, no, we can't do that up here. Perfect. Bring it all the way to the front. And then... boom. Grab everything. Put it here. Grab you. Oh, actually, no, you're gonna need to be these guys down here. You're gonna need to be this half guy. Perfect, and then just... Actually, what am I doing? Is this not tall enough? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just gonna completely undo everything I just did. Make it better. Add a skylight? That's a good idea. But my plan was more to kind of like emulate the sky indoors. Do like a fake sky sort of thing. Was kind of the idea I had. You know what I mean? Because then I can kind of like... What I would love to try and do... Maybe there's a way to do this. But have the lights, like, color fade. To almost have, like, something in the sky that changes color. To kind of, like, simulate a sunset. I don't know how exactly I plan on accomplishing that. But that's kind of like... That's the running idea I have for the interior. And we'll just see how/if we're able to execute it. Although I do agree with you. Normally, I like having a lot of natural light in my builds. Especially for something like this. It's beachy. having something a bit more open air. A fishnet skylight would actually be really cool. Like, have a gap up here and fill it with fishnets. Maybe I'll do that, actually. Not as, like, the whole ceiling, but maybe I'll add, like, a fishnet gap kind of here in the center. Move it here. Okay, now we just lay these flat. Actually, yeah, I should just do that. Let me just select the entire length. And then... Alright, there we go. Go up. Okay. And there we go. Just like that, we've got ourselves a shell. We've got a basic shape. We have created cube. And I think this cube has a lot of potential. Oh, we should probably fill out that bottom gap, because I will forget, actually. Thank you, Warden. I'm very happy with how it's coming along. And now we have something to work on in Planet Coaster streams, finally. After, like, months of me just being like, oh, I don't have any ideas. We'll have something. In between big theme park developments, we can do this random projects series. Because I have more random projects I also need to get done. I'm sure I'll think of more random projects. And once the DLC's out, I might get, like, mega inspired to do something. So we'll see. Have we done a medieval fantasy park yet? I don't think we have. I think the only medieval section we've done is in this park, which I'll show off in a second. If I can come up with enough ideas, if I can flesh out an idea for a good fantasy park, I think that might be what we need to do. Because this is really all the medieval stuff we've done. It's just this sort of like, not even really medieval, more of just like Ren Fair, like vague Ren Fair vibe coming through here. How does this look coming up? We'll have to build something there. But alright, what time is it? 9:30? How long has it been? Oh, okay, we'll keep going. Yeah. This has some, this is an interior with potential, if ever I've seen one. So let me think. I'm just trying to think where I want to go from here. I guess next step would be trimming. Oh, I guess color. Color would be pretty important. I think for a base color, let's start with like a salmon. Like make like a salmon. And then go darker with it. Start with a salmon and then go more red. And then desaturate. Maybe more like a true red. Start me with like a true. and we'll kind of make it look more wood colored and sort of faded because it's on the beach. That looks like a nice faded red. What am I gonna name it? It all depends on how it is at the end. Everybody, that is the first rule of writing. You always do the title last. Never start with the title. It's just gonna impact the choices you make, and you're gonna mentally box yourself into making certain choices. Okay. And then again, remember, we're going to be adding a bunch of designs and trim on top of this. So this is just like the base. We're essentially painting, we're treating our canvas right now. And there we go. It looks really... You're allowed to say other things, Elevator Warden. Just FYI. I appreciate the encouragement. I truly do. Yes, but then make it more green. Nah. Stick to the classic colors. And then just these need to be blue. I don't think there's any ride that you can see the roof of this from. So I think we don't really need to worry about painting the... Oh, wait, no. There's literally... Oh, yeah, that's very noticeable. I'll fill it out. Don't worry. I'll fix it. It will look fine. We'll get it working, and it'll be good. But... This is, like, the main color. Actually, hold on. If I just do this... Oh my gosh, that works so well. That works so well. Okay, we've got the two colors down. We've got the two major colors. So now we got to go in and add trim. Maybe. Maybe. Not quite. What does this look like? Maybe? Thank you, Warden. Although now you're starting to sound like ChatGPT. That's the way ChatGPT talks to me. It's like, that's a really great idea. Your ideas are creative. You should keep working at them. Let's see. Go up here. Maybe. I'm not sold. I am not sold. I want it on record that I am not sold on this. I'm not crazy about this trim design. You know, I hate it. Not only am I not crazy about it, I actively dislike it. Ooh. Ooh, wait. Hold on. I got an idea. Oh, I can't change the wood? Oh, boo! Oh, this could have been perfect. Okay, this is it. So I'm thinking, like, if I... Damn it, I was kind of hoping the whole back would be blue. But if I then swap this... Okay. Hold on, this is giving it to me. I'm starting to feel it now, Mr. Krabs. What material is that? Because I need to put something behind it to kind of fill out this space. That looks like the same material. It's not. What about this? How does this look? Okay, it's just the wrong color. That's it. No, it should be the right color. See, that's what I mean. It needs to be the correct material, or else it's not going to be, like, the right color for it. Yeah, let me see all these prop shapes. Give me all the prop shapes. Do I have... Yeah, this. Well, that's like a wedge. Okay. We're getting somewhere. And then on our, for this hard edge right here, yeah, just one of these. And flatten it. That works for me. We just gotta copy and paste this rectangle. Or actually, we can just get rid of the... We can just get rid of these entirely and just do the rectangle. Yeah. Okay, I like this. This is some trim I can get behind. It's unique. It's different. It's got, like, shape and form to it. Now, the only thing is... I actually don't know... I don't know how it's gonna fare on these middle parts here. Oh, okay, that works perfect. Oh, that looks so good. Right here. Okay. I hate that it's just like just barely not there. Like how it's just barely off. It's gonna bug me. make it all come together. Perfect. Perfect. I'm definitely going to need to change the roof color now. Because now it's a little bit too much blue. But overall, I'm liking this. Someone's happy to be at work. Glad he likes his job. Makes me feel like a good boss. Okay. So we've got that. And now we've got this big roof problem. We need to be looking more like this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I kind of have an idea for how I want this to be now. Alright, I'm getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. Because I have like this sunset gradient that I have going in a lot of different places in the park. So I think maybe making a sunset gradient as it moves up the steps would probably be good. But I think I'm going to end it there because I've got the facade and all of that. I kind of need to play around with a few ideas and see where we go from there. And we're kind of getting close to the end time. I know it's early, but I have not been sleeping well, so I need to make sure that I log off so I can wrap up some things before I go to bed. But that's all I got for you gamers. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's right. It's going to be a while. I'm going up to visit my grandpa for Father's Day weekend. So I'm not going to be here Friday or Sunday night. But I will be back Tuesday at 7 p.m. And James Bond Part 3 will be out on Monday. So definitely stay tuned for all of that. Thank you guys so much for watching. The best way you can make sure you don't miss out any of what I got going on is, of course, to subscribe. Hit the notification button. You've been notified every time I go live and every time I upload a new video. I'm live 4 times a week on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And upload a new video every Monday. Like I said, this upcoming Monday is going to be James Bond Part 3. 3 of, I believe, 6? I think we did 6 James Bond streams. So definitely come check that out. Really fun series. Really love that game. Had a great time with it. And those videos have been very fun. And then hopefully next week is when we're going to be starting Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So if you've been missing the Assassin's Creed content, I certainly have. Definitely stay tuned. We'll be starting Assassin's Creed Brotherhood hopefully next week. If not on Wednesday or Friday, then definitely on Sunday. Make sure you like the streams, like the videos. Helps them do well, the algorithm. Helps them to get seen by more people. Helps the channel grow. And I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday night. A wonderful rest of your week. I hope you guys have a great Father's Day weekend. And I will catch you guys all on the next stream. Stay sponge, gamers!